Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Fluent Personality channel. I'm Girish and I'm super excited for today's episode.
And I'm Sangeeta. It's great to be here with all of you. Today, we have a really fun and helpful topic for all our English learners out there, don't we, Girish?
Absolutely, Sangeeta. Today, we're going to talk about something we all do every single day, our daily routines. It's a fantastic way to practice your English and learn how to describe your own life.
That's right. We'll talk about what we do from morning to night, and we'll try to keep our language very clear and easy to understand. So, let's just dive right in. Girish, let's start with the morning. What's your typical morning routine like?
Okay, my morning. Well, I'm usually an early bird. I wake up around 6 a.m. Sometimes a little earlier, sometimes a little later, but 6 a.m. is my goal. The first thing I do, even before getting out of bed, is stretch a little, just to wake up my body.
Oh, that's a good habit. I should try that. I usually just hit the snooze button a few times. So, after stretching, what's next for you?
After stretching, I get out of bed, and the very first thing I do is drink a big glass of water. It helps me feel fresh and awake. Then, I brush my teeth and wash my face. You know, the usual morning freshness routine.
Yes, absolutely essential. Do you do any exercise in the morning, or is that something you do later in the day?
Yes, I do. After freshening up, I usually go for a short walk or do some light exercises at home. Nothing too intense, just about 30 minutes to get my blood flowing. It really helps me feel energetic for the day ahead. What about you, Sangeeta? Are you an early riser or do you prefer to sleep in a bit?
I'm more of a 7 a.m. person, honestly. My alarm goes off, and like I said, I sometimes snooze it. But once I'm up, the first thing I do is check my phone, which I know isn't the best habit, but it's hard to resist. Then, I quickly brush my teeth and make myself a cup of tea. Tea is a must for me to start the day.
Ah, tea, a true morning ritual for many. So, no morning exercise for you then?
Not usually in the morning. I prefer to exercise in the evening, after work. But in the morning, after my tea, I like to sit quietly for about 15 to 20 minutes. Sometimes I read a book, or sometimes I just think about my plans for the day. It's my quiet time before everything gets busy.
That sounds lovely, Sangeeta. A peaceful start to the day. So, after your quiet time and tea, what about breakfast? What do you usually eat for breakfast?
For breakfast, I usually have something simple and quick. Maybe some toast with jam, or sometimes cereal with milk. If I have a little more time, I might make some scrambled eggs. And of course, another cup of tea. What about you, Girish? What's on your breakfast menu?
My breakfast is usually pretty healthy. I often have oats with some fruits and nuts, or sometimes a nice omelette with a glass of fresh juice. I try to make it a good, hearty meal to give me energy for the whole morning. So, after breakfast, what do you do to get ready for work or whatever your day brings?
After breakfast, I get ready for work. I usually take a quick shower, get dressed, and then do my hair. I try to be ready by 8:30 a.m. My work starts at 9 a.m., so I like to have a little buffer time to check emails or just prepare mentally. How about you? Do you have a specific time you like to start your work or daily tasks?
Yes, I also aim to start my main tasks by 9 a.m. After breakfast, I take a shower, get dressed, and then I quickly review my to do list for the day. I find it really helpful to know what I need to achieve. My commute to my home office is very short, as you can imagine. Just a few steps from the kitchen to my desk.
Haha, the best commute ever. Mine is a bit longer. I usually leave home around 8:45 a.m. I take the bus, which usually takes about 20-25 minutes. It's a good time to listen to a podcast or some music, or sometimes I just look out the window and relax before the busy day starts.
That's nice, a little bit of me time before work. So, once you're at work, what's your typical morning like there? What kinds of things do you do?
Once I'm at work, the first thing I do is check my emails and reply to any urgent ones. Then I usually have a team meeting around 9:30 a.m. to discuss our tasks for the day. After that, I focus on my main projects. My morning is usually quite busy with different tasks and calls until lunchtime.
That sounds like a packed morning. My work morning is quite similar. I also start by checking emails and planning my day. Then I usually have a few calls or virtual meetings. I focus on creative tasks in the morning because that's when I feel most productive. My brain is fresh.
I totally understand that. It's good to know your peak productivity time. So, what about lunch, Girish? When do you usually take a break, and what do you have?
For lunch, I usually take a break around 1 p.m. I try to make sure it's a proper break, not just eating at my desk. I'll make a simple meal, sometimes leftovers from dinner, or a sandwich, or a nice salad. I also try to step away from my screen, maybe go outside for a few minutes if the weather is nice. It helps clear my head.
That's a great idea, getting some fresh air. I also take my lunch break around 1 p.m. I usually bring my lunch from home, something simple like rice and vegetables, or sometimes a big salad. I like to eat with my colleagues in the office canteen. It's a nice chance to chat and relax a bit before the afternoon.
That's nice, having lunch with colleagues. It creates a good social atmosphere. So, after lunch, how do you tackle the afternoon, Sangeeta? Do you feel more energetic, or do you have a post lunch slump?
Oh, sometimes there's definitely a bit of a post lunch slump, especially if I've had a heavy meal. But I try to power through it. In the afternoon, I usually focus on tasks that require less intense concentration, like responding to emails, organizing files, or planning for the next day. Sometimes I have meetings too. How about you? How do you manage your energy in the afternoon?
I can totally relate to that post lunch feeling. To combat it, I usually grab a cup of green tea or coffee in the afternoon. I also try to take a very short break, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, just to stand up, walk around a bit. For my work, in the afternoon, I usually focus on editing, reviewing, or collaborating with others. It's a good time for team discussions.
That makes sense. It sounds like you really plan your day to use your energy wisely. So, when does your workday typically end, Girish?
My workday usually ends around 5:30 p.m. or 6 p.m. I try to wrap things up, finish any urgent tasks, and prepare my to-do list for the next day. It helps me to leave work at work, to switch off mentally. What about you, Sangeeta? When do you usually finish up at the office?
My workday usually finishes around 5:30 p.m. Then I pack up my things, say goodbye to my colleagues, and head back home. The bus ride home is another chance to relax and unwind, maybe listen to music, or just think about my evening plans.
So once you're home, what does your evening look like? What do you do to relax or enjoy your time?
Once I'm home, usually around 6 p.m., the first thing I do is change into more comfortable clothes. Then, I might have a light snack. This is when I usually do my exercise. I go for a walk or do some yoga for about an hour. It helps me release all the stress from the day.
Ah, so your exercise is in the evening. That's a good way to end the workday and refresh your mind. After your exercise, what's next? Dinner, I suppose?
Exactly. After exercise, I take a quick shower, and then it's time to prepare dinner. I love cooking, so this is usually a relaxing activity for me. I try to cook something healthy and delicious. Dinner is usually around 8 p.m. Sometimes I cook with my family, or sometimes I cook alone while listening to music.
That sounds wonderful, Sangeeta. Cooking can be very therapeutic. My evening is a bit similar. After finishing work around 6 p.m., I might take a short break, maybe read a book for a bit, or just chat with my family. Then, around 7 p.m., I usually start preparing dinner. I also enjoy cooking, so it's a nice way to unwind.
So, after dinner, what do you usually do, Girish? Do you have any special evening hobbies or routines before bed?
After dinner, my family and I like to spend some quality time together. We might watch a TV show, or sometimes play a board game, or just talk about our day. Around 9:30 p.m., I usually start preparing for the next day, like packing my bag if I need to go out, or just tidying up a bit. And then, I like to read a book for about 30 minutes before going to sleep.
Reading before bed is a fantastic habit, Girish. It helps to calm the mind. For me, after dinner, I often spend some time watching a movie or a series with my family. Or sometimes, I call my friends to chat. Around 10 p.m., I start to get ready for bed. I usually listen to some soft music or read a magazine for a little while.
So, what time do you usually try to go to sleep, Sangeeta? And how important is sleep for you?
I try to be in bed by 10:30 p.m. or 11 p.m. Sleep is incredibly important to me. I aim for at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. I feel so much better and more focused when I get enough rest. If I don't get enough sleep, I feel tired and grumpy the next day. What about you, Girish? What's your ideal bedtime?
I totally agree, Sangeeta. Sleep is crucial. I also aim for around 7 to 8 hours. So I try to be in bed by 10:30 p.m. I think a good night's sleep is the foundation for a productive and happy day. It's like resetting your body and mind for a fresh start.
Absolutely. And our routines are mostly about weekdays. What about weekends, Girish? Is your routine very different on Saturdays and Sundays?
Oh, weekends are definitely different. On Saturdays, I still wake up relatively early, maybe around 7 a.m., but it's more relaxed. I might go for a longer walk or a run, and then the rest of the day is usually about spending time with family, running errands, or pursuing hobbies like photography. No strict work schedule, which is great.
That sounds like a perfect weekend. My weekends are also much more flexible. I usually sleep in a bit, maybe until 8 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. Saturdays are often for cleaning the house, meeting friends, or going shopping. Sundays are usually more relaxed, maybe visiting family, or just reading and preparing for the week ahead.
It's good to have that balance, isn't it? A structured weekday and a more relaxed weekend. So, for our English learners watching, we hope this conversation about our daily routines helps you understand how to talk about your own day.
Yes, absolutely. The best way to learn is to practice. Try describing your own morning, afternoon, and evening routine in simple English. Think about what you do when you wake up, what you eat for breakfast, how you go to work or school, what you do in the evening, and when you go to sleep.
Exactly, and don't worry about making mistakes. The important thing is to try. You can even write down your routine first and then try to say it out loud. It will really help you build confidence.
And remember, you can use simple phrases like first I, then I, after that I, or usually I. These phrases make your description very clear and easy to follow.
That's a fantastic tip, Sangeeta. Well, I think that's a good summary of our daily routines. It's interesting how different, yet similar, our days can be.
It really is. Thank you so much for joining us today, everyone. We hope you found this conversation helpful and enjoyable.
Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Fluent Personality for more English learning content, and leave a comment below telling us one thing you do in your daily routine. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, please share your routines. It's a great way to practice. Until next time, keep practicing your English and have a wonderful day.
Bye bye, everyone. See you soon.